This is John Poro. I'm coming from Tokyo, Japan, and today I'm going to talk about a tweet that somebody by the name of Brandon Bird made. I'm not sure exactly who the guy is. He has a .com. He talks to Pablo Hidalgo, so I guess he's apparently somebody. And the funny thing is this. The guy has me blocked, and I've never tweeted about him. I've never answered a reply to him. He just has me blocked, apparently randomly. Well, it's probably not random. Here's why he has me blocked. He probably considers me a Fandom Menace channel, which in a way I am. We'll get into that later. But the point is, he probably looked at a few channels, Geeks and Gamers, World Class Bullshitters, and then just went down the line until he got to Entertainment Hacker, you know, on the smaller end of the channels, and just blocked me too. So his tweet about Mark Hamill is pretty easy to break down the logic. You got to think about it just a little bit, but let's get into his tweet. By the way, he's a little bit shilly. I don't know if I could call him a shill because I don't know how big he is, and I think you have to be a certain size to be a shill. Like, I can't just be a shill. I can't, you know, have 1,500 subscribers, be like, Disney, notice me, you're awesome. That's just a dude who likes Disney, so let's take a look. Alright, here's a tweet. So this is one that irritated me. It's weird when people use Mark Hamill as the authority on Luke Skywalker as a screen character, when he's the one person who, by definition, can never experience Luke Skywalker purely as a screen character. Now, first of all, there's no definition to anything he's talking about with his context, so he just wants to say definition and make it sound a little more fancy. And yeah, at first, you might look at this, you might think, yeah, I guess the guy kind of has a point. Mark Hamill can't look at Luke Skywalker in the same way a regular fan can, but here's a problem with that. Now, Mark Hamill can look at Luke Skywalker from a unique perspective. He's the only one in the world that can look at Luke Skywalker on screen and see it in a certain way. But Mark Hamill can also imagine what it's like to be a fan. Here's the thing. When you put yourself in someone's shoes, which a lot of people do in life, to think about how someone's feelings are, you're going to hurt their feelings, what they're thinking, there's an easy time for some people, depending on like how close you are to that person, how much you know about that thing if you follow. So it's easier for Mark Hamill to put himself in the shoes of a fan than it is for a fan to put themselves in the shoes of Mark Hamill, because Mark Hamill's in a much more unique position. But Mark Hamill knows what it's like to watch other movies. He could probably shut his mind off and, you know, watch the movie and imagine Luke Skywalker just being a character and not as himself. But it's a lot harder for you, Brandon Bird, to imagine yourself as Mark Hamill to be in that unique position. So, yes, it's a little complicated, but if you get my drift, it's not impossible for Mark Hamill to imagine himself as a fan, but it is impossible for you to imagine yourself as Mark Hamill, or it's much harder. So, I would have to say, due to that logic, Mark Hamill actually can judge Luke Skywalker as a screen character a lot better than you can criticize him for judging it as a screen character. This guy also has some kind of odd logic about Star Wars. If I read correctly, he said something like, you know, nobody told Lucas back in the day what he should do, and he didn't have to, like, change his movies because of what fans thought. Kind of indirectly saying, well, Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson shouldn't have to, like, change stuff because of these fans. And, yeah, like I said, he's not big enough of a personality or presence on the internet to call him a shill. He's just a fan, I guess, who's defending the sequel trilogy, and like I said, Pablo Hidalgo answers his tweets too. Right here, Pablo Hidalgo. I remember a while back some podcast got mad because they asked a Star Wars actor some detail about their character that had been revealed in a tie-in book that they did not know. And by the way, Pablo Hidalgo, nice tweet. First of all, some podcasts got mad. I don't usually refer to people who are making commentary or people in the podcast as a podcast. Don't you say some podcaster or some person hosting a podcast or something? Second of all, you're Pablo Hidalgo and you forgot the reference, the name of the actor, the name of the book. Alright, great tweet, Pablo. I could make a tweet like that right now. I'll just say something vague, and I can't dislike on Twitter, and I'll just say something vague and pinch in my opinion. So, like I said, Pablo Hidalgo, I'm assuming he follows him, answers some of his tweets, so I guess this guy, Brandon Bird, is somebody, but his logic is a little bit screwy here. And why? What's the point of saying that about Mark Hamill? Oh wait, the point of saying that about Mark Hamill is because Mark Hamill generally has negative things to say about Last Jedi. Whether you want to accept that or not, I think what Mark Hamill said before the release of Last Jedi was like the truth. That was from his heart, and it's coming out more after now too, so he wants to kind of try to discredit Mark Hamill, and nah, not gonna work. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think down below. I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks. Do a shoutout right now. Shoutout goes to Rhodes Rants. I always give him shoutouts anyway. Check out his channel. He did a great reaction on The Mandalorian. It did better than a lot of our other reactions of bigger channels because he actually like smiles and gets excited and gets into it, and I was like, looks pretty cool. So I suck at reactions. Anyway, if you haven't, click that subscribe button, pretty please with sugar on top, and if you got something better for me to say than pretty please with sugar on top, please tell me, but not sure how many people make it to the end. Alright, that's it.